presented by Seat77.com. As always, Dave DeBa is coming to you live from the Super Plus Seat 77 broadcast studio in the heart of Silicon Valley. Now, Dave DeBa.
North America, good afternoon. I am Dave DeBa, and this is the Dave DeBa Big Show for a Monday. It is week number 6 of the Big Show, and we are super excited about everything that we have for you this week. We have several interviews coming up for you a little later in the week. We're going to do something a little bit different on today's Monday show. Remember, info at seat77.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and of course, the big iTunes channel is blowing up North America. Well, it was a huge weekend of sports. We are definitely going to dive back into sports more on Tuesday. Normally in the Big Show, we do a lot of sports, a little entertainment, some technology talk. But today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do an editorial on the 2016 election.
And now, North America, it's time for a Dave DeBa editorial rant.
We begin with the number one story in North America, the 2016 election. Look, I'm not saying if I'm on the right or if I'm on the left side of the fence, but the Republicans have successfully turned the 2016 election into an election about nothing. Seriously, the Republicans are debating who has the largest hands. How tall should the wall be? Who drinks water properly? How much will that wall cost? Who sells the most steaks? Who makes the best wine? How to use illegal immigrants to build a wall and kick them out at the same time? And my favorite, who has the biggest balls? While the brashness of the Republican Party should be turning Republicans away from the polls, the opposite is happening, which could prove to be extremely dangerous if Trump actually makes it to the general election. It's like the more dumb things Trump says, the more people who show up to hang a Chad. The Donald is like that kid who's running for class president and promises students no homework, less classes, and better food in the school cafeteria. All promises he has no authority to deliver. But look, the kids buy it anyways. Hook, line, and sinker. Don't worry, little Johnny. I promise I'll talk to your math teacher. The days of you having to do 3 hours of Algebra 2 homework are over. Oh, and for lunch, I'm going to throw in some $50 Donald Trump steaks and some Trump water from the great state of Michigan. But even more disturbing than that, you've also got Donald supporting anyone who will support him. Even the radical right, which includes members of the KKK and most likely any former band members who played with Ted Nugent. Look, Donald, by not denouncing Ted Nugent and David Duke's support, you have effectively accepted his support, and that is a problem. Similar to the massive food consumptions Chipotle has had. Remember, they attempted to solve their issues by deciding to retrain their entire company in just 4 hours. Hey, Chipotle! My guess is you need some new suppliers. Look, just last week, Trump went as far as having everyone actually raise their hands and having them repeat what he says. He started off by saying, "Repeat after me." It was like watching a modern day version of Hitler. Look, I'm not saying Donald wants to kill a bunch of people, but I can tell you that I'm never going on a Donald Trump train. Sure, I could have made yet another joke about Donald's hair. But seriously, after his win in Michigan earlier in the week, his acceptance speech was carried on just about every network. I think even E! interrupted an episode of the Kardashians. Come on, E! I want to watch Scott Disick's latest meltdown. And the highly entertaining ongoing struggles of Kim Kardashian's fight to build a $30 million mansion while she tries to desperately unload a $60 million mansion. So whatever happened to the old Republican storylines? You know, less government, health care for a few, election reform, the economy, and the national debt. Look, regardless of your views on those topics, those are topics which should be on the table. Hey, do you remember that famous Seinfeld episode where Jerry and George decide to pitch a television show to the executives at NBC for a show about nothing? Well, that is exactly what the Republican Party is selling you today. An election about nothing. But don't be fooled, North America. It's an election about everything.
North America, you've been listening to an exclusive editorial rant by Dave DeBob, presented by Seat77.com.
Tell us what you think, North America. info@seat77.com. We want to hear from you. Okay, so a huge week of shows, as I mentioned before the big editorial rant. Lots of great stuff coming up for you this week on the Dave DeBob Big Show. Remember, check us out on Facebook, our Twitter account, as well as Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and of course, the big iTunes channel is blowing up North America. For the silent one, I am Dave DeBob, reminding you that not everyone can be a champion, but everyone can act like one can. And good luck, North America.